OMG, guys, what do you think about this? My religious parents caused my brother's death, and I would never forgive them for it. My brother Daniel had always been feminine. He would choose to play with my dolls indoors with me than go outside to play ball with his fellow boys. He loved makeup, hair, and a whole lot of other things. This got him heavily bullied in school, but I was always there to stick up for him. Our parents were no different, and I was the only one he had basically in this world. Daniel would get punished a lot for not being man enough by our father. He would get yelled at for falling asleep during a football match, slapped for using my lip gloss, and kicked for playing with dolls. He would run away and hide in his room each time my dad was home. I always knew my brother was gay, even though he never said it outright. I didn't care though because he was my brother and I love him. He didn't choose to be gay, so I couldn't treat him like any less of a person for being one. The entire world is literally against his sexual orientation, so why would I join in? My mother would get so angry each time I defended him, and I would get punished for enabling his behavior. Sometime last year, he was caught kissing a boy at school, and my father was called to take him home. My dad locked him in his room for almost an hour, beating the living day hell out of him. I banged on the door, screaming and begging for him to stop. My heart ached as I heard my brother screaming and pleading. There was a family meeting 3 days later, and my dad dropped the news that he heard of a religious group, concentration camp for gay people to cast out the demon of homosexuality from their body. My brother would be going there for a year to get straightened. My brother began crying and begging, saying he would do anything, but my dad said his decision was final and he would be leaving in a week. I spent that week almost glued to my brother because it felt like I wasn't going to see him again. We'd never been apart for more than a week at most since we were born, and he was my best friend. I still tried talking to my parents out of their decision, but they remained adamant. He looked defeated when he came for me, and he didn't even bother crying or resisting. He just went willingly. My life became bleak without Daniel, and I kept counting the days till he would come back. There weren't allowed phones at the camp, and so I had no way of reaching out to him. I spent days trying to imagine what his life was like over there. I even begged my parents to allow me go visit him, but they refused. My dad went once and came back to tell us he was doing fine. There was nothing else I could but wait. Finally, in February, he came home. I was so excited, and as soon as I heard the car in the driveway, I ran outside. I recoiled in shock from seeing the person that came from the car. Daniel used to be a bit chubby, caramel skinned. The person that came down was a lean, dark skinned boy with dead eyes. He had gotten very emaciated and looked like a shadow of his old self. His eyes lit up a little when he saw me, and I cried as we hugged. He held me but didn't cry. I could feel that something in him has changed. They had broken my brother. The old Daniel would have cried with me, but my dad took it as a good sign as he was manning up. Daniel stopped being a chatterbox. March 19, 2025 marks the day that ruined my life forever. I went into Daniel's room to give him food, only to find him foaming in his mouth. We rushed him to the hospital and they pronounced him dead. I would never forgive my parents.